Hi everyone, thanks very much for keeping it up here. This is the Mental Health Radio. My name is Adrian Kakinda, your counselor, always. Today I want us to talk about something very interesting. I don't know whether it has ever crossed your mind, but I've dubbed them forgotten healers. Where I come from, there used to be old men and women respected for their expertise in healing not just the body but the mind and spirit. They were known to stop even the most stubborn addictions. They didn't wear white coats, they didn't have degrees from our prestigious universities, but their wisdom was trusted and their methods were effective. In our villages, it's hard to believe now, but in the village where I grew up in Uganda, addiction wasn't always treated in rehabilitation centers. No. Instead, it was often the herbalists, the wise elders who played a central role in healing those who had fallen into the clutches of substance abuse. I don't know how it was where you grew up from, especially those countries in the global south. As we talk now, our world is dominated by the Western models of addiction. We are using Western models of addiction treatment because we are thinking of rehabilitation centers, we are thinking about clinical assessments and pharmaceutical interventions. But let me take you back to a time when the solution wasn't found in a hospital room, but in the heart of the community, under the guidance of people who knew the earth, the herbs, and the soul. What happened? Where are these people? In traditional African society, addiction wasn't a diagnosis to be filled away in a medical report. It was seen as a condition that could be cured by connecting with nature, with community, and with the wisdom passed down through generations after generations. The healers, often herbalists, would prepare potions, infusions, and balms derived from the plants, roots, and herbs found in the local environment. In our forests, these remedies were believed to cleanse not only the body but also the mind, restoring balance to individuals caught in the destructive cycle of addiction. Name it, whether it's addiction to substances or alcohol, they could crush that addiction. However, there is a twist in the tale today. While these practices were highly regarded, they were shrouded in secrecy. Knowledge was often passed down orally from one generation to the next, but there was little to no documentation of these methods. As a result, much of the valuable healing, I'm talking about the healing knowledge, was lost as the old herbalists passed away, taking their wisdom with them. This lack of written records meant that over time, the effectiveness of these treatments could not be evaluated or compared systematically. What worked for one might not work for another, and without a solid foundation of evidence, these approaches remained on the margins of society's understanding. Documentation wasn't there. This knowledge was kept under secrecy. One wouldn't allow you to know what herbs is bringing together to make a concoction to give to your patient struggling with addiction. Another problem arose: the proliferation of fake herbalists. In many African communities, as addiction became more widespread, opportunists started to present themselves as experts, offering miracle cures that preyed on the desperate. Now, the community's trust in herbal treatments began to wane as some individuals experienced no improvement, or worse, had their conditions worsened. In some cases, the lack of proper medical oversight meant that herbal concoctions were either ineffective or dangerous, leading to even more harm. Now, this is a key reason to why many of the traditional approaches are now questioned in the face of modern addiction treatment world over. But I want to ask, okay, before I reach that question, now as we look around us, the situation has evolved. We have rehabilitation centers with trained professionals, evidence-based treatments, and well-documented success stories. That's what we are having right now. Now, these centers often rely on the biopsychosocial models of treatment, addressing addiction not just as a physical illness, but as a multi-layered problem, as a social challenge. They have brought a structure, a framework, and scientific backing to their treatment of addiction, which is fundamentally okay. I don't have any problem with that. But here is the burning question. Are we missing something? Are we so focused on the Western models of treatment that we have forgotten about the traditional wisdom that once helped people overcome addiction? Are these people still there in your communities? Do you know them? Do you know anyone? Do the concoctions work? Are there success stories for their concoctions? Because as I try to reflect on the old herbalists I remember from my childhood, I can't help but wonder, could their knowledge, if properly documented and studied, still be relevant today? Could we integrate the healing power of nature with the proven methods of modern addiction treatment? I'm talking about combining the strength of the biopsychosocial models today with the holistic approaches rooted in the African tradition. After all, addiction isn't just a physical ailment. It's a disease of the mind, the heart, and the spirit. So why not use every tool at our disposal? I think we need to challenge our mindset. We need to challenge our mindset. Are these people still existing? If yes, why aren't we integrating the two models? All right, I want to leave you with this question. Are there still people today in your community who use traditional healing methods to combat substance addiction? If the efficacy of these methods was as high as someone believes, why don't we take a serious look at integrating them into modern rehabilitation centers? What if we combined the best of both worlds, blending the scientific approaches with the ancient wisdom of our ancestors? Could this be a future of addiction treatment? I'm just asking. Perhaps the solutions we need were always here, in our own backyards, waiting for us to recognize their value. Maybe it's time to honor both our past and our future in the fight against addiction. My name is Kakinda Adrian Ivan. I'm a counseling psychologist. Thank you very much for being part of this amazing platform, and this is the Mental Health Radio.